Welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. What's your cup of tea, tickles your fancy, or floats your boat? Join us as we share passions from people in Taiwan and around the world. I'm your host, Michelle Chang, and today in the studio we have some lovely people, lovely friends joining us. Christine.
Hi, everyone.
And Akemi.
Hi.
Did I pronounce it right?
You did. It's perfect.
Excellent. So we are, what are we geeking out about today?
Makeup?
Makeup. I love this topic. I just love this topic because, I mean, when I first went over to Christine's house, Christine is laughing. So when I first went over to Christine's house, I realized that we have something that's pretty huge in common. And you collect makeup, correct?
Yeah, I would say I'm kind of a hoarder.
Okay, and we all have collections that we like seek out and we like to hoard. It's not actually a hoard. Don't make yourself sound so negative. It is a collection of. I saw a lot of palettes.
Mm-hmm. I have 80 eyeshadow palettes.
Oh, I love this! I love it. For the listener, the layman, what is a palette?
A palette is like it's the same as like an artist palette.
Okay, so when you picture like a painter holding that thing in their hand with all of the different colors in it, and they're taking color from their palette and putting it on their canvas or whatever they're painting with. That's pretty much what a makeup palette is. You open it up and there's all the colors that you can use on your face.
That's right.
So 80 some odd palettes of just eyeshadow.
Yes, that's like my biggest collection is eyeshadow.
Love it. Okay, are there any particular favorite brands?
I'm a really big fan of NARS.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Love their
some MAC. I have stuff from China like Flower Nose.
Ooh, I've seen that online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It looks pretty. It looks pretty.
It's pretty.
It's so packaging.
So what percentage of what brands do you have in your collection? I'm so curious. I mean, because I saw a lot. ColourPop?
Yeah. I have a lot of ColourPop eyeshadows. And I have like Anastasia, Beverly Hills.
I'm kind of curious, like, do you buy any of the Japanese palettes or any of the... I mean, I've noticed that Watson's here imports a lot of really beautiful palettes from like Korea and Japan. I'm just curious if you tried any of those brands, or do you mostly buy American?
I think most of my makeup is American brands. And I have some from Korea, like Etude.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh, is that how you pronounce that? I always say etude.
Me too.
Oh. I don't know. Maybe it's etude, but I think somewhere I learned it was Etude.
We understand each other, which is the point.
If you're sophisticated, it's Etude.
So sophisticated. I love it. So you have to tell me about your journey, though. I'll go first, actually, makeup journey, because actually I think all three of us have kind of I think all people, regardless of gender, who eventually get really into makeup started somewhere.
You're right.
I was raised in a very traditional Asian family that did not approve of makeup while I was still in school, right? So in middle school, which is when a lot of, teenage girls are like, oh, I want to get some makeup from Claire's or wherever it is in the U.S., it's probably where I started. And because I wasn't allowed to wear makeup to school, I did not apply it at home. I would apply it on the school bus. And if anyone knows, one of those big yellow American school buses doesn't have great suspension. So I got actually quite good. In the beginning it was awful, but I actually got really good at applying makeup, on a bumpy ride. And I would arrive at school with makeup on, and then on the ride home, I would wipe it off.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but, my parents didn't know that I wore makeup until they saw, I guess there was more social media, and then they started seeing photos of it. This was back in, middle school, in the 90s. I'm sorry, I just outed myself.
Yeah, I also had a really strict family. I didn't wear makeup, I think, until I left home. And I don't think I ever learned how to apply makeup properly. So I kind of had this like non-makeup phase for a really, really long time. And then when I moved to Asia, I got really into all of it again, because it was just so girly. And you can be girly here in ways that you can't be girly. Where I grew up in Canada, everybody's so sporty and it's the natural look. And actually there would be guys even in college who would say like they didn't like that look of makeup, like it was considered to be too fake or something, so it wasn't really a thing. But when I moved to Asia, then I got my girly on, you know.
Yeah. I mean, did you move to Taiwan directly?
I moved to Hong Kong.
Oh wow, okay.
So it was really fun. And they had all these amazing stores. Like they had a big Etude store there, and they had
Sasa.
and Innisfree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Taipei is a little bit lower key. We're more of a small town feel if you compare us to Hong Kong, just saying.
Yeah.
But still, there's a lot of makeup that you can pick up places as inexpensive as Watson's or Cosmed. Or there's lots of places where you can pick up expensive makeup. Department stores, any Western imports usually are available here.
True, and Shopee, don't forget. I
That's
actually,
a recent development.
Yeah, I import a lot of stuff from Korea, and I just ordered on Shopee.
Yeah, Shopee is a web-based shopping platform, very similar to, say, Amazon in the States, where you can get pretty much anything. And there's a lot of individual sellers on Shopee that will offer import products, what we call 水货, or 水货, where they will bring in stuff from, say, Korea or from China or from, the US or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the Taiwanese Taobao.
It's great. Love it. I get so much stuff off of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Christy, what's your makeup history? I'm curious. Like, how did we get here?
Well, I think I started in high school.
Yeah.
And I wasn't from like a very traditional family, so I would wear makeup at home and then go to school with it. But back then, you would experiment with like very cheap brands.
Oh yeah.
Like CoverGirl.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
everyone started with CoverGirl.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Revlon.
Oh, I remember. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so I started with like eyeliner and face powder before I did other stuff like blush. Yeah, so my staple in high school was face powder.
Well, we all love flawless skin, so.
Yeah, and when you're like 17, it looks really good.
Oh, 17
Yeah, when you don't have any problems.
You started with face powder. When did you get into other stuff?
I think gradually, like in university, I started experimenting with blush and then eyeliner, eyeshadow, and then some, what's it called? Eyebrow stuff. Yeah.
I think there's a huge difference between young people who are experiencing their makeup journey today versus the 90s when I did, because they're kind of skipping the awkward makeup phase. Because honestly, there wasn't YouTube back in the day, or TikTok, or any other platform where you could watch tutorials.
Right.
So I remember doing some really horrible makeup. It was just bad. Speaking of like foundation and face powder, my face would be an entirely different color than my neck.
Yeah. And like the eyeliner that goes around your entire eye.
Oh no.
And blue eyeshadow.
Frosty blue
The
eyeshadow.
frosty blue.
Just really, I think people today skip over that phase of not knowing how to apply, because they have really great personalities online to show them how to do it.
That's right.
And it's great. I mean, I love that for them. But I also kind of get mad about it because there's a bunch of photos of me with just lip liner on. It's like
the darker lip liner, right? With the lighter lips in the center.
Yes, it was a bad phase.
Yeah.
And those photos are immortal. So.
Well, in your defense, those were some bad trends.
They were. I mean, and then, okay, which brings us to a topic of makeup trends. How long have we been putting on makeup? I've been using makeup since the 90s. So I've been watching the trends from the dark lip liner and the shaved off eyebrows where you then draw back on pencil thin, and the frosty blue eyeliner and stuff, all the way through to today.
I also did the thin eyebrows for a bit. Yeah,
it was the biggest thing in the 90s, early 2000s. The Britney Spears,
Christina Aguilera eyebrows.
Oh, right, Christina Aguilera that's actually a great image. During her, was it dirty phase?
Yeah, that's right. Her dirty phase. Yeah, so I think like all the celebrities had these like really pencil thin eyebrows. So as a teenager, I was like, okay, that's how you do it.
Yep.
So you would be plucking your eyebrow really thin and then using like an eyebrow pencil and just draw it over.
Draw it back on.
Yes. So I think on some face shapes it looks okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but not everybody is fit. It doesn't suit everybody. The pencil thin eyebrow man.
I didn't wear makeup. I didn't wear a lot of makeup during high school, to be honest.
Well, I mean, to each their own. Well, okay. So first of all, let me drive home to the audience that makeup is, in my opinion, not to meet or exceed some kind of societal beauty standard. When I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine earlier, who's just getting into it now, she's now in her 30s. When I am wearing makeup, I feel more powerful. Does that make sense? Like I can do more. I'm more confident, self-confident. When I speak to people, it's I know that I have my best foot forward. Best face forward. And yeah, it just gives me the more self-confidence to be myself, which is, I think, the most important role of makeup for me anyway. There are a lot of people out there who wear it because they feel they have to meet some kind of societal beauty standard, and I think that's a little sad. As we explored our makeup journeys, did you feel like you were under any kind of pressure?
I think if there was any pressure for me, it was probably in the early years when I first moved to Asia, where I, probably like a lot of people, if you leave your home country and move to a place where you're a minority, then you start to feel the pressure of the beauty standards around you and try to conform your own looks maybe to match that. I had some issues with that in the first few years when I moved to Asia, and I didn't clue into it at first. And I remember when I realized, I'm trying to look like Asian women and I can't, and so there was a point where I had to kind of step back from that and go, okay, shake your head a bit.
Well, first of all, because they can't see us, describe yourself.
Okay, well, I'm a white girl with blonde hair, and my face is pretty square. I have a square jaw, and I have green eyes, and yeah, I don't look Asian at all.
No, you don't. Not at all.
No. So in the first probably 5 years that I lived here, I used to dye my hair brown. Because I felt uncomfortable with my blonde hair. I felt like I drew too much attention and stares, and it made me uncomfortable. So I would wear brown contacts and wear dark hair. I would dye my
You even
hair.
went to the point of wearing dark contacts in order to change your eyes.
Yeah,
to
because I just
Asian
didn't feel
color.
comfortable with people staring at me, and I was living in a place where there weren't a lot of foreigners.
Yeah.
So that was an issue, and then I got over that. I was just
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. We all have our own individual beauty. And I like to think that we each choose whatever makeup we want to wear in order to feel better about ourselves, suiting our own face. How about you, Christine? Have you ever felt pressure to wear makeup?
I don't think I ever felt that kind of pressure. I just always wanted to wear makeup because I'm pretty feminine. So I think wearing makeup is a good way to express yourself and have fun at the same time. So I never felt any pressure to wear makeup. I just do it because I want to.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so Akemi described herself. I present as Asian. Christine also presents as Asian. And I think when we live in society here, a lot of the foundations and face powders and things are keyed to our skin tone. So it's pretty easy to buy product at any other even convenience stores. I think 7-Eleven sell this stuff, so it's very convenient for us. I'm sorry you felt like you were Akemi trying to.
No, it's just it was a thing. I think a lot of women do those things subconsciously, maybe without examining. And once I realized I was doing that, I don't know. I got a better relationship to it after thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. What kind of makeup trends do we like? Do we prefer Asian style or Western style? And what is the difference? Well, first, let's talk about what is the difference.
I think the difference between Western style and Asian style is probably how the actual strokes, down to the application, and then the outcome too. So I would say Western makeup prefers more apparent, very bold eyeshadow.
Yeah, you used the word glam earlier, which is I think really fitting.
Glam, yeah. So more soft glam. Yeah, there was a whole trend on soft glam, and also very thick foundation. I think Western style they like that they can actually look really different.
Oh yeah. Oh, you've seen some of those makeup reveals on TikTok.
Yeah, those are great.
They're so great to watch.
Those.
Seriously, I absolutely agree. There's a lot more concentration on, say, contouring, and what is the word? Just dramatic changes.
Yeah, and dramatic eyes. I noticed that a big one. So the eyelid, they will apply makeup deep into the eye crease, and then the eyebrows go all the way to where the nose bridge is.
Very
and
dramatic.
That's
eyebrow.
a big difference
dramatic.
in Asia. The Korean style is to have the tattooed eyebrow, and they actually don't tattoo all the way to the edge, so they leave it you know.
Kind of natural at the front, in the towards the nose there. So.
They leave it. They don't tattoo that in.
We'll get into permanent makeup or semi-permanent makeup in a minute.
It's a thing here.
It's a
for
big,
sure.
super thing.
Yeah.
So so Western, more glam.
Yeah, more glam.
So Asian
Softer, more natural. I think, yeah, they prefer where it's like not too noticeable, and definitely even like with eyeshadows, like it's more natural colors like brown. So I think that's more everyday makeup.
I see if you're shopping for makeup here in the Asian brands, it's mostly if you do add colors like a pink or a peach, something that's very
Natural. Yeah,
natural,
it's not very apparent.
And a major focus on flawless skin, which you don't get in the West.
That is a huge thing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Asian Western, then which one do you prefer, or do you ride the line?
I think I kind of do something in between.
That's good.
Yeah,
To
some
each-
days I feel like wearing a really colorful eyeshadow, so then I'll wear colorful eyeshadow and then like, keep the lips more neutral.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, most of the time I just go for a natural look, but at the same time, it's fun to experiment with more color.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it's so much fun. I mean, especially if you have some kind of occasion to dress up for. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah,
Blast.
so fun.
Yes. If I have to choose one, I'm definitely in the Western camp. Simply because I love drama. I'm a radio show host, you guys. I love drama. The Western drama of contouring as well. I have recently gained some weight that I'm losing, but I got really self-conscious about my face picking up some fluff. So the contour was very helpful in helping me feel a little bit more confident, because what contour does, for those who don't know, is it creates an optical illusion. You use lighter colors to raise aspects of the face, and darker shaded colors to drop aspects of the face to kind of sculpt it to the naked eye. But you're actually not sculpting it. It's just using color or hue, saturation, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
So right, I do the same thing. Sometimes it's like dramatic eyes, very neutral lips. Sometimes let's do a bright red lip.
I love that Asian look of the very white dewy BB cream foundation,
yeah.
and then the red lip. I just
red.
love that.
Yes, very bright pop.
Very Douyin, like Chinese style.
But it's generally speaking, I tend to only emphasize one part of my face. So if I do the eyes, I don't do the lips. If I do the lips, I don't really do the eyes. So semi-permanent to permanent makeup. Have we gotten into it yet?
I've had my eyebrows microbladed,
Yeah.
I guess, but it's like a little bit different here in Taiwan when they do microblade.
I've never had it done in the U.S.
Yeah, I've never done it
yeah.
in Canada, so I wouldn't know. But I heard it's different.
Okay.
What about the lips? Have you had the lip
No,
tattooing?
I've never done my lips.
I mean, it looks a little scary because, semi-permanent makeup is done on the face by blade or by needle.
That's
and
right.
It's kind of like tattooing, where they will puncture the skin and, insert pigment underneath the dermal layer, thereby, and then when it heals, the pigment is in your skin, which means that it will last quite a long time. Semi-permanent makeup usually lasts 1 to 2 years, and then more permanent makeup. My mom was, my mom's generation, our parents' generation is very famous for the blue eyebrows.
Oh god.
Oh, yes, I know. The Asian ladies,
Yes.
the older ladies with the bluish eyebrows.
That was permanent makeup. They were literally using the same black ink as is in tattoos of that era, which comes out blue over time.
It fades to blue.
It fades to blue rather than into something more natural. So today, thankfully, it doesn't really fade to blue anymore. So we get our normal natural range of browns.
Yeah, I've had the 2 kinds they do here for eyebrows.
I've done the ombre. These are ombres that I have on now. I'm actually really a big fan.
I like them. You don't have to do the brow pencil until it's been like more than sometimes like a year it'll last, and then you have to start doing the pencil.
You guys can see, but the listeners can't. I also have eyelash extensions on.
Right.
Yes, they're
That's
very
right.
classy.
I love the dramatic. They're big.
They're like
dramatic.
brooms. They're amazing.
They're like brooms.
I love it. Yes, big duster lashes. Only because, I'm also a little bit miserly or cheap when it comes to things. I like things to last a long time. So if I get very full, dramatic, broom lashes,
They're great.
as they fall out, they become more natural. So I get like 8 weeks of wear out of these.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a long
That's
time.
nice.
Instead of doing it more natural in the beginning, then you only get 4. That's my
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's great.
feel free to steal it. And then, by the time that things have they've fallen out a little bit and I start to feel more natural, I'm also sick of doing the, more dramatic look. So works out.
Nice.
It's like this
Cycle.
cycle, the wave cycle of me doing different makeup to Yeah. Have you guys tried eyelash extensions yet?
I have.
Yeah.
Ah,
I've
how'd you
even
like
done the eyelash lift as well. I like the lift.
Do you like the lift?
It lasts
And the
for a
tint.
good
I've had the tint.
like
What is
7
the lift?
weeks.
Please explain.
They perm your eyebrows. Eyelashes, and then that lasts for usually 6 or 7 weeks, and then
wow. Okay.
yeah, you just put the mascara on really easily.
Because eyelash curlers do sometimes damage. They pull out some of the eyelashes and stuff.
Yes.
So, I mean, that sounds great if they're just naturally curly. Have you tried eyelash?
I've tried all those. I've had the lashes. I've had the curl and the tint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So for somebody either starting their makeup journey or looking to make a change to it, do you guys have any advice?
I think it's nice to have like a good collection of like what you want to focus on. Like, so if it's usually like blush or like eyebrows first, like yeah, just focus like in each category so that you can have like more time to perfect it.
And have a few different palettes, so you have many color options to mess around with. I think that's really a great idea.
Right, that's right. For some people who want to start out, they don't want a huge collection, so they just want a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But I think kind of it's a bit distracting because we have so much now, like so much brands, so many brands we can pick from. It's kind of overwhelming.
It is. It can be. I mean, if you go to shops that have testers, oh, please overuse those. Like go there and like do full faces using their palettes and like pick the brands and the textures and consistencies, the saturation level of the ones that you really like.
I really enjoy watching the tutorials. So I learned how to do different kinds of makeup, like Chinese style makeup, Korean style makeup, Japanese style makeup. They're all different. And I watched a lot of influencers first to learn how to do the different things. And there's a lot of different techniques you can use. And when you start playing with them, you'll be shocked at how you can change the way your face looks.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do with your face.
I love the side-by-side comparisons when the same person puts on different styles of makeup and then
so
puts
fun.
up those photos side by side, because they are really very different. All these styles are really fascinating, I think.
Yeah, they're really fun.
Yeah. Thanks for geeking out with me, guys. So Christine and Akemi, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you so much.
And thanks, listeners, for tuning into Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang. I'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Geek Out.